everyone, welcome to my channel. Subscribe to my channel for more videos and click the bell icon for further notifications. Here's another inverse trigonometry question from the year 2023 has been picked. It says the value of 9 over 4 sine inverse of 2 root 2 over 3 plus 9 over 4 sine inverse of 1 over 3 is. The options are 9 over 4, 9 pi over 4, pi over 8, 9 pi over 8. Previously, in the previous video, we talked about the value of theta. For what value of theta, we are getting the particular value like that we have discussed. So, once we look into this, we have got 2 root over 3. So, if we cross check with the angles, 2 over 3 is not at all there. Of course, this we need to be thorough. When it comes to angle, we should be thorough with our 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree. Pi over 3, pi over 4, pi over 6 for sine theta, cos theta, tan theta at least. Remaining things we can find out easily because cosecant is nothing but 1 over sine. So whatever we are getting for sine theta with respect to pi over 6, that can be flipped over here. For example, sine of pi over 6 is 1 over 2. Here, if you flip 1 over 2, the reciprocal of 1 over 2 is 2. That only has been written here. Similarly, for secant theta, that is nothing but reciprocal of cos. So once we are thorough with our cos theta, the angle's value and all, easily we can interpret over here. This will give you as 2 over root 3. In order to avoid the radical symbol, they have multiplied with root 3 on the top as well as on the bottom. That's why we are getting 2 root 3 over 3. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. In the same way, cot theta is nothing but 1 over tan. So whatever we are getting for tan, that can be flipped over here. For example, here root 3 is there. For tan 60, pi over 3. For cot 60, it will become 1 over root 3. Again, same thing. In order to remove the radical on the bottom, they are simply multiplying with root 3 on the top as well as on the bottom. So they got this value. So once we are thorough with our sine theta, cos theta, tan theta angle values, easily we can interpret our cosecant, secant, cot. Now, the thing is that we cannot apply this. Then what we can think about means we can think about important properties. As we discussed earlier in one of our previous videos, it says sin inverse of x plus cos inverse of x equals pi over 2 and tan inverse of x, cot inverse of x nothing but pi over 2. So if we look into our question, we are having sin inverse. So we can think about including this cos inverse in our calculation. So how to interpret that? Here it is equal to 90 degree. 90 degree means 90 degree triangle we can use. 90 degree triangle means we can think about Pythagoras theorem. Pythagorean theorem, what it says? A square plus b square is equal to c square. C is what? It is hypotenuse. The side which is opposite to 90 degree. 90 degree will be denoted with a little box like this. So that is said to be hypotenuse. Square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of the other two sides. So the other two sides has been represented as a and b. So we are going to use this Pythagorean theorem, and from this Pythagorean theorem we are going to try to implement this property in our given question so that easily we can find out the option. Let's have a look into that. So here, in order to interpret the meaning, we are not comfortable with 2 root 2 over 3. So that only we are going to interpret now in our triangle. Let us see what we are getting in our 90 degree triangle. So we'll assume this to be our 90 degree. So that means this would be our hypotenuse. And we can assume here we are having the angle theta. So this would be opposite. The side opposite to theta is said to be opposite. The side where the angle is seated is said to be adjacent. Yes. So this we are going to interpret. We know that sine inverse is nothing but inverse function of sine theta. So obviously we can think in terms of sine theta. That means 2 root 2 over 3 can be expressed as opposite over hypotenuse. So 2 root 2 would be here. Hypotenuse would be here. Hypotenuse value is now 3. Are we allowed to do so means yes, we can interpret in terms of our usual trigonometric ratio. Y means in our earlier videos, in one of the videos, we have discussed that in order to cancel our inverse, we need to get our same trigonometric function with respect to the inverse function so that we can easily cancel them, like that we have discussed earlier in one of the previous videos. So sine inverse means obviously the same trigonometric function is sine theta. So this can be expressed as opposite over hypotenuse. So now what we are going to do? We are going to use our Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem is nothing but a square plus b square is equal to c square. C square here is 3 square. Yeah, one of the sides we can assume as a. I am going to assume this to be a. So 2 root 2 the whole square plus b square is equal to c square. Now 2 root 2 whole square means 2 square would give us 4 and root 2 square will give us 2. And 3 square is simply 9. So 8 plus b square is equal to 9. We can move this number on the other side. So that becomes minus 8. So b square is actually 1. That means b is 1. We are taking square root on both the sides so that this can be cancelled. And square root of 1 is 1. So obviously it's giving us the value easily. We are dealing with trigonometric functions. They are real functions. So whenever we are trying to find the square root of any number, we tend to get a plus or minus. But here we are focusing on the positive value because we are calculating the actual length. We want to calculate the actual length here. So